I want to share with you the recipe of the cake that I made for my son's birthday. He is getting 5 in a couple of days, and I know that he loves chocolate, and it will be like a nice, delicious, healthy chocolate cake with a milk chocolate ganache, with the amazing and moist chocolate sponge, and some nice and themed decoration. So let's get started. The recipe of this sponge is already on my channel. I found it very delicious and moist, and I love it very much. And the first thing that we need to do is to sift and combine the flours. Cacao powder. In this recipe I'm using almond flour, so in general you can use any nut or seed flour in this situation. And also I'm adding a little bit of salt. We mix everything in one bowl. In the blender I'm adding 50 grams of cacao paste, and in the video about this sponge you can see that I recommend to use 100% dark chocolate. So if you don't have access to cacao paste, just buy delicious chocolate in your store, and it should be without any sugar. I'm adding hot plant-based milk. Using a low speed we combine these two ingredients. And now I'm adding coconut sugar and coconut oil, melted coconut oil. We blend for about 1 minute, and the goal right now is to dissolve our coconut sugar. Now let's add dry ingredients, and I'm going to add them into 2 steps. First step, let's blend it. And we pour leftovers. We see the texture, so it is quite runny. Again, compare with the video about this sponge. You may see that in that video I used 100% dark chocolate, and the butter were not so runny, so it was more thick. And here I used cacao paste, and you see it is more runny. So the texture is quite nice and beautiful. So this would be the difference if you use different types of chocolate, and I'm sure that even the quality of your chocolate will make impact on the final texture. Now let's grab 8 inches mold. So here you are, this is my mold. So I covered, it's my ring. I have a video why I prefer rings. I made a bottom with the foil. I put parchment paper on the bottom and on the walls. And now we pour our chocolate. Butter here. We make it flat. I bake it 25 minutes, and we need 2 such sponges. In Europe I have a super tiny oven, so I see that I can make only 1 sponge at once, so that's why I blend my all ingredients for each sponge every time before I put it into the oven. So I do not recommend you to make a double batch and bake only the half, and the second one will be resting for about 30 minutes. It's too much, so the reaction can finish and you can get another result with the second sponge. So if you're ready to bake it together into 2 8-inch sponges, no problem, make 1 batch and divide it between 2 sponges. If you will be baking each sponge separately, please blend all ingredients just before putting it into the oven. 25 minutes and it will be ready. So now is day 2. Yesterday I made sponges. I covered them with the plastic wrap and left in the refrigerator overnight. Right now we're going to make a milk chocolate ganache. I have the separate video how to make it with all details. You will see it here, but I will show it here as well. So we grab our blender, and I want to emphasize that my coconut oil, my cacao butter are already melted and at room temperature, so they are not hot and not cold. Like for example milk, it's not right away from the refrigerator. All ingredients have all the same temperature. We're adding all ingredients. It's a sweetener, I will be using maple syrup, plant-based milk, literally any milk that you love, cacao powder, a little bit of vanilla extract, a little bit of salt, and for now that is all. We need to blend it into one consistency. Time to add our oils. I will start with coconut oil, then follow with the cacao butter, and the last ingredient is melted coconut butter. Here you are. This is our thick ganache. This is what we have. This is our beautiful texture. I want to tell you that if such happened that you had an oil separation, and it happens not only with vegan pastry chefs but in overall world as well, so if you see oil separation, if the texture is not so smooth and silky and shiny, I have a video here how to fix oil separation. We're going to assemble our cake. I just prepared the place to show you what we need to assemble our cake. So here are our sponges, and while they are in this state, you can see in the full video about this sponge. And I will be assembling everything into the same mold, into the same ring that I used to bake these sponges. So because the ring, I'm going to use something flat. I put here my parchment paper, put on top my ring, and then I put acetate strip. So most my students do the same technique that I show you right now, but if you are in more classic bakery side, when you do not use like rings to assemble the cakes, what you need to do right now, you can't assemble the cake while your ganache is so runny. Like, you understand why it is too runny. So that's why you need to pour this ganache into piping bags and put in the refrigerator for about 2-3 hours. Once it becomes thick, you can assemble it in traditional way. So you put the sponge, then ganache that is thick and stable, and then put another sponge and another ganache and cover your cake with the one draft frosting. I will be doing it in another way that I used to do, and it's always the best result, and the cake is straight, nice, and even if you never frosted the cake, you will succeed with this technique. First of all, we need to level our sponges. So let's open them. We take out this parchment paper if you use it on the bottom, and let's level it. So I set only the first mark on my leveler. It costs just $5, and we can do it right now. I will be using scales to have same layers of ganache. This is what I usually do. So first we put one sponge here, and I want to pour 320 grams of ganache. Even 350 would be also great. That's okay if your sponge has holes between the mold and sponge. It will be covered right now. It's totally okay. It's kind of frosting. And try to tap a few times. Now we need to move this our first layer to the freezer for about 30 minutes or until your layer will become thick and we can put next one layer. You can set 30 minutes, and while it will be chilling, let's make decoration. I love to eat these leftovers, and I want to tell you that this chocolate sponge, it's very delicious. So you remember, it is without any dairy, gluten, soy, refined sugar, no seed oil. And usually when I make baked cakes, they are based on some kind of gluten-free flour. It can be like healthy quinoa flour, healthy buckwheat flour, but all these flours gives a specific aftertaste, and not all people love it, not all kids love it. And it's totally understandable if the people used to buy sweets in the store with white flour and white sugar, so they have different taste buds. But this sponge, I mean, oh my god, it's super delicious. I'm so sad that the kindergarten did not allow me to bring chocolate cake. It was a restriction for any chocolate flavors, but I'm sure if I made it for kindergarten, all kids would love it. And again, it's super healthy. So you see how clean ingredients and how it is delicious, and I love to eat these leftovers. It's like you eat high quality chocolate, but it's in the form of a sponge or baked sponge. It's so good. For over probably 6 years I used my quinoa flour sponge. It's really very delicious. It's nice, it's moist, maybe a little bit crumbled than regular cakes, but it's very delicious, and it is a bestseller in the shops of all my students. And now this sponge I made like 6 months ago, and this is my favorite right now, and it is so easy to do. So easy to do, of course, if you don't have any allergies to nuts or seeds, because we use nut butter in this sponge. For our mini donuts that will be in my decoration, we need 100 grams of any nuts or seeds that you love. So I have just a little bit of almonds. Let's put some walnuts. Just a little bit of flax seeds, and the flax seeds will get an extra water that we have in dates, and some coconut for the taste. Easy peasy process. So we add firstly dry ingredients, nuts, flax seeds and shredded coconut, and blend it into completely like fine texture. We don't need big pieces of nuts. Yeah, it's nice, like we have little pieces and it can be totally okay. And we add all our dates, soaked dates. Once your food processor is stuck, it means it doesn't blend everything like at the beginning, so we can do everything manually with our hands. My mold, my future wheels on the cake, and we just need to create these mini raw donuts. You can see that the texture is super sticky, so this is what we need. Let's see how it works. I do it first time, so it's easy. You see, you just put inside and press with your fingers. Try to make the top is really smooth, because we will be sticking this side to the cake. So it should be really smooth, and you will not have any problems with sticking it. Yeah, you see, I made this quantity, so I make these donuts first time ever, so I didn't know how many of dough to prepare, and you see it was like exactly for this amount of mini donuts, this quantity of ingredients. Oh my god, so sometimes you need such small wins to be proud of yourself. So now I'm proud of myself, and we move it to the freezer. I would say that I would leave this decoration for minimum 2 hours in the freezer, and honestly you can make it same day when you make sponges, so they can chill overnight. I made it just right now, and I chill it 2-3 hours in the refrigerator, and then we will continue to work with it. I'm getting out my cake because it is already quite thick. The ganache is quite thick, so we can continue to work with the next layer. And these are going in the freezer. Okay, we need a scale. Here you are. You remember we pour 350 grams first time. We put next layer here. I pour 360, sorry, but okay. Let it be this quantity. Tap. Again, that's great if your ganache is going inside between sponge and the cake mold. So that is all. Now I do not freeze it. I move it to refrigerator to chill out for minimum 3-4 hours. So honestly, how I organized to make this cake. The birthday is on Sunday. I baked sponges on Friday. I make filling and frosting on Saturday. So in the morning, I make my ganache and I assembled this cake, and I also made my decoration. So morning means until 12 p.m. and around 5-6 I'm going to finish everything with this cake, including white frosting. And now that's why we do not move it to the freezer, we move it to the fridge. It is stabilized during like 3-4 hours. The sponges will absorb fats, water from our ganache. It will stick all together, and in the 4-5 hours we will be ready to frost this cake. So do not put it in the freezer right now. Refrigerate it. The leftovers of our ganache we pour into our bowl. I'm not going to refrigerate it. I'm going to use this ganache to finish my decoration. It's up to you. You can use a chocolate, melted chocolate, to dip our wheels into chocolate. I have this ganache, so I'm going to use it a little bit later. Also, you can use this ganache as a frosting. So, for example, if you don't need white cake, white finishing of your cake, once you chill your assembled cake, you can use this quantity of ganache to make the finished frosting. It also would be great. That is all. So I just set it aside. I do not refrigerate it because I need it in this consistency a little bit later.